A plastered bride Tobe reached speeds of up to 70 miles per hour while her husband desperately clung to the bonnet of her new £60,000 Range Rover. Fuming Shelley Bertram drove for 3.5 miles, swerving and braking hard to try and force fiance Clive Gibbs off the car after the couple had a row. Bride Tobe Shelley B was slapped with an 18-month suspended sentence and ordered to complete 200 hours of unpaid work. Mr. Gibbs, a builder from Waterlooville, Portsmouth, suffered cuts and bruises to his head, legs and arms as he tried to stop his future wife drink driving, a court has heard. Portsmouth Crown Court heard businesswoman Bertram snapped into a rage just 2 weeks before the couple's wedding when she spotted Mr. Gibbs smoking indoors after they got home from a night out. She stormed out of their home and got behind the wheel of the brand new Range Rover that her partner had bought for her. Bertram, who had been drinking, was about to drive away when Mr. Gibbs flung himself onto the bonnet in a bid to stop her. However, the court heard she floored it onto the A3M, with Mr. Gibbs screaming at her to stop as his legs were dragged along the road. He eventually jumped off the front of the car 3.5 miles down the road, where he lay injured until her cabbie spotted him and called 999. Clive Gibbs was left with cuts and bruises all over his body after clinging to the bonnet for 3.5 miles. Bertram fled to her friend's house, before then going to another man's house where she was arrested by police. A breath test revealed she had 48 micrograms of alcohol in 100 milliliters of breath. The legal limit is 35. Prosecutor Kelly Brocklehurst told the court the defendant did not pause for a moment to check if her future husband was all right as he jumped from her bonnet. She just drove away. Self-employed builder Mr. Gibbs said he lost a lucrative £250,000 roofing contract after not being able to cope with work in the months after the incident on June 12 last year. Mr. Gibbs said that night absolutely destroyed me. She was supposed to be marrying me. It has destroyed my life. After that I felt absolutely gutted. Range Rover. The mum of two swerved and braked hard in her brand new car to shake off her fiancé. I went outside after our argument and I heard the Range Rover I had bought her as a wedding present starting up. Bertram drove out to where I was standing and so I grabbed the bonnet. She then drove 3.5 miles with me on the bonnet, hitting the brakes and swerving. I was screaming, "I love you, stop the car, what are you doing to me?" at her. I was crying, screaming, holding on. We got on the slip road. I remember losing grip, being dragged along, with one arm holding on. I was losing my grip, hanging on for dear life, and I knew I was going to have to let go. Mum, daughter and pal accused of being UK's first all-female terror group in court, accused of plotting knife rampage. Husband shoots his wife and her lover dead in their family home after catching the pair having sex. Neighbours furious. Hundreds of travellers in caravans descend on new multi-million-pound estate and refuse to move. Cops find 20 bottles of steroids and white powder at home of bodybuilder champ Rich Piana as he fights for life. In a coma after collapsing. Couple who tried to boot out tenant are forced to let him stay with cheap rent forever after he used 1920s law to fight eviction. Taylor Swift tells court DJ David Mueller lifted her skirt and definitely grabbed her. I decided I would do it when she slowed down, and when she hit the brakes I let go and rolled into a hedge at the side of the road and called an ambulance. I'm still not fully back at work and I still wake up at 2 a.m. thinking about that night. She said she loved me, and never loved anyone like it, and that she'd been waiting for someone like me all her life. I just wanted to know why did she do it? I'll never know. The couple, who met on dating site Plenty of Fish, were due to fly off to Thailand and Dubai after the wedding on June 25 on the honeymoon, costing £10,000. Mitigating, James Caldwell said Bertram, of Portsmouth, told probation Mr. Gibbs was her soulmate, but added like any relationship it had its difficulties and troubles. Mr. Caldwell added she had just been involved in a sad and tragic event, when she was given devastating news that she wouldn't be able to fit in her wedding dress. Mum of two Bertram admitted dangerous driving, assault occasioning actual bodily harm, and drink driving on the first day of her trial last month. Judge David Melville QC sentenced her to 18 months in prison, suspended for 2 years, and ordered her to complete 200 hours unpaid work. He also banned her from driving for 18 months, adding she would have to complete an extended retest before getting her license back, and ordered her to pay £1,200 costs. We pay for your stories. Do you have a story for the Sun Online News team? Email us at tips@thesun.co.uk or call 0207 782 4368. We pay for videos too. Click here to upload yours.